when you driving on the freeway, you got to be careful for the boys. All I can say is I may talk about what's going on in the NBA and in sports, because the NBA is headed towards crisis mode. They may be headed back to a bubble, or they may, you know what I'm saying, get super strict on letting fans in certain venues, which it could, one can contribute to being something else. But I don't want to talk that on this channel right quick. I'll talk about that later on. But the topic at hand today, I want to talk about Fanagers, or Fagents, or Fangociators that sit up here and try to, or even content creators that try to play negotiators. And I'm going to expose them. I'm going to expose them again on their hypocrisy, because I like doing it. And I want to say this, and this is the honest to God truth. I want to make this very clear. I gives two damns about people having an attitude with me, or being, calling themselves ostracizing me, but that's okay. Because I'm going to still continue to say what I want to say, and I'm going to continue to expose everybody, from these content creators to these fake, hotep, so-called militant, pro-black content creators. And I'm going to expose them on their hypocrisy, because they need to be exposed. And that's just the real. Now, it seems once again that there is another dilemma going on, possibly with another snag, another monkey wrench, another hurdle, and trying to get Terrence Crawford versus versus Errol Spence did. And this isn't so much about Errol Spence. I want to expose the fans more so than Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford. Because it's like this. I stand by what I said. I feel that they should split the revenue 50-50. Because Errol Spence isn't miles ahead of Terrence Crawford as far as ticket sales and pay-per-view sales go. Because like I said, if you ain't even sold 500,000 yourself, you can't be sitting up here trying to basically demand that somebody take this amount of money, versus you giving other people like 50-50 or damn near 50-50, but you trying to sort of like lowball somebody else. But then you always have the so-called conscious community, the so-called woke community, the so-called pro-black community, even though most of these dudes that be talking all that militant stuff got non-black wives. They try to talk all that Malcolm X stuff, ain't even married to black women. It's a lot of them. It's a lot of them dudes like homeboy on I'ma Get You Sucker. They really exist, because I met one of them dudes before. One of them super militant pro-black dudes, but you couldn't pay him to date a black woman. But, whatever. But my question is, how would you feel if somebody was telling you and trying to devalue you and saying that you're not worth this kind of money? Because that's what a lot of these so-called fanagers are doing, trying to be fans and managers and agents of somebody. But this is what they're doing with Terrence Crawford. Now keep in mind, these were the same people that made video after video hollering about how Bob Arum was mistreating Terrence Crawford and devaluing Terrence Crawford when he made certain remarks, and Terrence Crawford need to leave Top Rank. But now you have these same people after Terrence Crawford has left Top Rank, basically doing the same thing that Bob Arum is doing by telling him and trying to play agent and manager and trying to negotiate that Terrence Crawford should take less money to fight Errol Spence. But you had a problem with Bob Arum and accused him of trying to devalue Terrence Crawford, but you basically doing the same thing. See how I expose these dudes? A lot of these content creators who trying to sit up there and say and tell somebody what they think he should take. They doing the same damn thing that they accused Bob Arum of doing. And then when Terrence Crawford leaves and Bob Arum says, well, Terrence Crawford needs to accept the fact that he's the B-side when it comes to Errol Spence. You have people saying they agree with Bob Arum. But just a few months ago, they were saying that Bob Arum was devaluing Terrence Crawford. So I get it. A black person should be able to devalue another black person, right? Y'all see how I'm exposing these dudes? Y'all see how I'm exposing them? These content creators? You see how I'm exposing these fans? These so-called fans? But then these are the same dudes that'll sit up there and say, oh, Terrence Crawford is mean to the media. He mistreats black media. Well, if I was Terrence Crawford and I heard black people, my own people, devaluing me, putting me down, personally attacking me. But the funny thing is, you'll ask for a picture if you've seen them. Or ask them to sign some gloves. Would you talk to them? Would you do interviews with these type of people? When you got content creators that are telling you that you should take less money, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to tell a fighter how much money they should take. Now, I gave my opinion. My opinion, it should be split 50-50. They could do a 2-fight deal, 50-50 the first fight, then whatever. The loser take a a lesser percentage because he lost the fight. But you see how these dudes only try to tell Terrence Crawford what he should take. They only try to devalue Terrence Crawford. Have you seen anybody telling Brian Castanos what he should take against Jamel Charlo in a rematch? No. Have you heard people telling Caleb Plant what he should take against Canelo? No. Have you heard anybody telling Devin Haney what he should take against Kimbosa or Lomachenko? No. See, they only doing it to Terrence Crawford. See how, like I said, I'm blowing these dudes out the water and they can't take it. They can't stand it because I'm calling them out and exposing them on their hypocrisy. And I'm going to continue to do it. Everybody seemed to want a pocket watch for Terrence Crawford. But at the end of the day, a lot of these dudes, secretly in their heart of hearts, they really worried about that fight. They really don't want it to happen. Yeah, I agree. They should make the damn fight. And the funny thing is, these dudes do all this caping. They do all this caping and capping and protection for Al Heyman, but Al Heyman wouldn't even give these dudes the time of the day. Al Heyman has never sat down and did a conference call with any content creators. He won't even do an interview. Al Heyman wouldn't even give him the time of the day. But say what you want to say about Bob Arum. Say what you want to say about Eddie Hearn. Say what you want to say about Oscar De La Hoya. Say what you want to say about Richard Safer. With the exception of Oscar De La Hoya, I've interviewed all of them. They made themselves available. Not only to just black media, but media period. But you got all these people that want to stand in front of Al Heyman and defend him no matter what and try to play that black card, but then they constantly attacking constantly attacking and putting down a black man. And all I'm saying about Al Heyman is fact. And I don't got nothing against Al Heyman. But I'm thinking to myself, man, the way people have defended you and stood up for your brand, and I mean, you could at least every once in a while do an interview with somebody. It's not going to hurt you to do an interview, especially with these black content creators. And I'm going to tell you right now, Terrence Crawford is not going to do no, he not going to do no one and done with the PBC. I can promise you that. Like I said, these dudes are just mad because I won't comply. They mad because I won't follow a script. And like I said before, I gives two damns about you having an issue with me. Oh man, appreciate that, man. $50 donation, I appreciate that, man. Because I'm stating the real. These dudes talk all this black stuff, this pro-black stuff, power to the people stuff, but then they constantly devaluing a black man. And I'm gonna tell you something else, real talk. This Terrence Crawford not doing interviews with the media stuff is tired, it's played out. Terrence Crawford did an interview with me. I talk to his team on a regular basis. I talked to Bernie the other day. Talked to him on the horn. Keep in contact with Bomac. You know what I'm saying? Coach Red. You know what I'm saying? I'm black. So I'm trying to figure out, and Terrence Crawford sent a personal message to my son who was recovering from you know what? Even though he took the potion, that's another, you know what I'm saying? That's another video for another day. But Terrence Crawford don't mess with you know what I'm saying, but he don't mess with black media. That was just some you know what I'm saying, a stigma and a myth, you know, that got put out by certain content creators who had some kind of complex about somebody not doing an interview. And like I said before, man, I can't make these dudes interview me. I can't make them do an interview with other people. I'm not going to sit up there and continue to be mad because somebody didn't do an interview with me. It's always next time. But as I said before, it's some people I don't want to interview them. So I'm just keeping it a buck. At the end of the day, this fight needs to take place. Terrence Crawford will be 35 next year. Errol Spence will be 32. But more than likely, this fight isn't going to happen. Unless Terrence Crawford signs a multi-fight deal. Why don't y'all let, MK Global negotiate the fight? Instead of y'all trying to negotiate the fight and just sit up there and say how much and how bad you want this fight and how bad you want to see it. How about y'all do that? Is it so hard for y'all to do that? But then y'all had the audacity to sit up there and try to say somebody else is devaluing a black man, but then a lot of y'all are doing it. Like I said, the truth hurts. The truth hurts. The truth hurts. I'm hitting y'all with that truth serum. Just a few months ago, I can't believe Bob Arum said that about Terrence Crawford. About the money he's lost on Terrence Crawford, he could build a couple of houses. But then here you go, Terrence Crawford should take less money because he's the B-side and all this kind of stuff. Man, get out of here, man. Y'all doing the same stuff. So it's okay for y'all to devalue another black man, but just not a white man, right? Hypocrites. That's the problem. We got too many Fanagers going on. It's too many Fanagers. Too many Fagins. A Fanager is a dude trying to play manager. I mean, they try to say Terrence Crawford ain't got a fan base. Well, if Terrence Crawford ain't got no fan base, how come he draws 2 million viewers every time he's on TV? He sold out, he sold out the Mandalay Bay. Had he fought Kell Brook and he had been able to fight in front of a crowd, I guarantee you they would have did some good numbers. If he would have fought Kell Brook at the actual MGM Grand, people would have came to see Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford has a big following. He has a big fan base. But the problem is they don't know if they want to bring Terrence Crawford in, because bringing Terrence Crawford in offsets, like I said, that master plan to eventually try to get Canelo and Errol Spence to lock horns. And the only way they're going to bring Terrence Crawford in is Terrence Crawford probably agrees to a multi-fight deal. Because Canelo already done burnt the PBC. Canelo got in for $40 million and he just sitting pretty. Took all their belts. I can promise you they not going to do no, I can tell you they ain't going to do no one and done with Terrence Crawford and make. That's what you got going on now. That's what you got going on in boxing right now. Which is the problem. You got a gang war. You got gang banging. That's what you got going on. You got gang banging. You got to join my gang. You got to join this PBC gang. They've been boxing Bud out for years, but they not go give him that fight unless he agreed to a multi-fight deal. They not go do no one and dones because Canelo burnt them. Canelo came in there, he took the remaining belts and got them for $40 million guaranteed. He probably made 50. Now, it's a question of how many pay-per-views they actually did. Canelo versus Caleb Plant. Some people say it did 700,000. Some people said it did like around the fives. From what I was told, it did. It went gold. From what I heard, it did like around 650. So I think for the most part, they turned to profit. Because Canelo got that 40 up front. And then he got probably what was left on the back end, after the fight, after they did the final tallies. When they, what I'm saying, seeing how much money they made off the gate. And keep in mind, this Canelo fight, these tickets were relatively expensive, but Canelo managed to get like 16,000 people in the MGM Grand. Because usually Canelo fight is reasonable. But they were high for this particular fight. So that's what I'm saying. I'm just telling you the truth. Now, I've been hearing things behind the scenes that they might be something to be positive about. But this is my thing. Until I see an actual press conference with Terrence Crawford on one side and then Errol Spence on the other side, then that's when I'm going to believe that there's going to be a fight. Like I said, we going into year 4. Still no fight. Still no signs of there going to be a fight. And like I said, the biggest problem that's going on now is some of these content creators. Because some of these content creators have truly picked a side and trying to negotiate for somebody. But the funny thing was, they accused me of doing this stuff. I had people behind the scenes or coward ass cornballs like trying to talk all tough on the chat line and stuff. Of course they wouldn't say it to my face. But like I said, I'm not done with this individual yet. Because like I said, I'm gonna come out of nowhere and I'm gonna box him in. I'm gonna see if his fist gonna be able to back up his big mouth. But that's what we got now. Tell me that I'm lying. Where you got content creators that's supposed to be just media who have picked a side and chosen a side, and they try to tell Terrence Crawford what he should do. But I wonder how they would feel if somebody told them they should take less money to do this. Or somebody said, hey, well, you know, so and so, he got a few more followers than you. We want you to, let's just say they asked one of these dudes to do a segment one day on ESPN. And then they say, well, we gonna pay you. And then they tell you, hey, well, we want you to take a little less money than so-and-so because you got 1 million subscribers and he got 1.1 million. And you gonna look like, excuse me? But let's just say this guy got 1.1 million subscribers, but you average more views. And you make more money. See, you could have, let's just say you got that's how YouTube works. You could have 20,000 subscribers versus a dude that got 30. But if your videos are getting more views, let's just say your average video, if you got 20,000 subscribers, get like 10,000 views, and then the dude with more subscribers only get 5, you making more money. So you mean to tell me, well, I'm doing just as good. He may have more subscribers, but I'm making a little bit more money. So you want me to devalue myself for him? You gonna be like, absolutely not. But see, they never look at it that way. They sitting up here trying to play Fanager and trying to tell somebody, oh, well, I think he should do this. But then they say they non-biased. The only one that's really non-biased is me. And like I said, I paid a stiff price for that too. Because a lot of people, you know, I don't have the 10,000, 20,000 subscribers because I wouldn't comply. I wouldn't follow a script. I said I wasn't going to do it with non-black fighters. So I wasn't going to do it with black fighters. If I see something I don't like, I'm going to call it out. And like I said, I paid a stiff price for it. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Just like I had to expose those Errol Spence fans for constantly flagging my videos. Because I'm saying something that they don't like. And as I said before, I stand by what I said. I have an idea who's doing it. First of all, saying that you value yourself and saying that you ain't taking less money doesn't mean that you turning something down. You saying, hey, we gonna come to the table and we gonna get this ish right. At the end of the day, you know what? I can't tell. I know who you talking about. I can't tell the dude what you know. I can't tell the dude what type of material to put out on his channel. I wouldn't do it. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. First of all, I want to tell y'all, and this is just real talk. I just want to tell y'all, because most of my audience is black men and black women. Don't ever let nobody devalue you. No matter what color they are. Don't ever let no white man devalue you. Don't ever let no white woman. Don't let no black man. Don't let no black woman devalue you. Don't let no non-black devalue you. Know your worth. Believe that you worth whatever you think you worth. So let me get this straight. Terrence Crawford feels he should get 50-50, but you got people saying that he doesn't deserve it. And the sad part about it is, most of these dudes ain't never been in a boxing ring in their life. But they sitting up here trying to tell Terrence Crawford what he should get. See, one thing about me, I have actually been in a boxing ring. I have trained in boxing. I have trained in martial arts. I still do a little of both. I got a heavy bag right outside in my backyard. I got a heavy bag. I got a reflex speed bag. Then every once in a while, I'll do a session. I did a session with Kitty Porter before. You know? So I'm just saying. But this is what content creators are doing. At the end of the day, it works because what they're doing is they're catering to a certain demographic. Nobody can come on here and tell me that I'm lying. Like I said, once again, who are you to tell somebody what you think they should get? When you ain't never been in a damn boxing ring in your life. But you the same one talking about he getting used by the white man. But you talking all this white man stuff. But you doing the same thing. You basically doing some Jason Whitlock, Stephen A. Smith stuff. And Jamel Hill stuff. Man, by the way, I can't stand Jamel Hill. Or should I say Jamal Hill? I can't stand her. So I want somebody to tell me. I told you that it was going to be a new one. I already told you that I already told you that this was going to happen. Like I said, now they're moving the goalposts back. And like I said, these Spence fans, I had to expose them in that video because they weak. They childish. They're corny. So you flagging my videos because you don't like what I'm saying. You accusing me of bullying, accusing me of harassment, accusing me of hate speech. Really? Like I said, nobody don't negotiate for nobody tries to negotiate for Terrence Crawford other than content creators and fanboys. Everybody sitting up here trying to tell this man Terrence Crawford what to take. But they don't tell nobody else what type of money to take. They don't try to negotiate for nobody. They don't tell Shakur Stevenson what to ask for, how much he should take. They ain't trying to negotiate, how much Shakur Stevenson should take against Lomachenko. You know? They ain't trying to tell Devin Haney what he should take. But you got all these dudes telling Terrence Crawford what he should take. And probably none of y'all have a degree or know anything about marketing. But you accuse Bob Arum of trying to devalue Terrence Crawford, but y'all doing the same thing. Y'all are some of the biggest hypocrites I ever seen in my life. Keep exposing yourselves. Keep exposing yourself. Because Tail Business ain't doing it. Y'all doing it. Y'all doing it. Y'all exposing yourself and get mad. And I don't care what y'all be texting behind the scenes. I already know about y'all little secret meetings. Y'all little secret texts. I know everything. I know about everything. You damn right I'm not gonna comply. You damn right I'm not gonna follow no script. You damn right I'm not gonna do what you tell me to do. Or ask me to do or want me to do. Because like I said, I don't have no boss. I don't have no boss. I don't ask nobody's permission before I do a video. And I had to do this video because it was getting on my nerve. But as you can see, like I said, I'm doing this by myself, and that's fine. I'm okay with it. I like it. I like it. But I just want y'all to know how some of these Errol Spence, now, I just want y'all to see how some of these Errol Spence fans get down. They flag your videos if they don't like what you say about Errol Spence. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Just months ago. Like about what was that, about 6 months ago when Bob Arum but saying he could build a house with all the money that he lost on Terrence Crawford. All you did is have people running to YouTube making videos. Yeah, see how Bob Arum is devaluing Terrence Crawford. See how he's mistreating him. Terrence Crawford needs to leave Top Rank. He needs to go. He needs to leave. He needs to leave. He needs to leave. So now Terrence Crawford is no longer with Top Rank. But now you have content creators because they got their head up the PBC's ass and Al Heyman's, who ain't getting a dime to do all this free advertisement. I can see, like I said, if Al Heyman was granting these dudes interviews, so I could kind of understand why someone would swing that way. But none of these dudes have ever talked to Al Heyman in their life. And to me, to a certain degree, I believe in the merit system. I believe in the merit system. Like I said, say what you want to say. Say what you want to say about Bob Arum. I've interviewed Bob Arum. Say what you want to say about Eddie Hearn. I've interviewed Eddie Hearn. And y'all know I done interviewed Richard Schaefer quite a few times. I done interviewed Stephen Espinosa quite a few times. To be honest with you, a lot of people didn't even think Al Heyman was a real person. But then you get all this caping, and like I said, man won't even give black media the time of the day. So, allow me to tell the truth. Allow Tell Dennis to tell the truth. Because like I said, I started seeing this stuff. I knew all this stuff. When I started covering these fights for Dante, I started seeing this stuff. To see what was really going on. But like I said before, I guess the Arrows apologist is mad because I'm exposing his fans, flagging my videos. And then the fun part about it is being the appeal anyway, because you got nothing. Y'all seen that movie, The Untouchables? You got nothing. You got nothing. You got nothing. These do all this. The funny part about it is these all this brown nosing on behalf of the PBC. You know, the PBC and Al Heyman, and then they do all this stuff, but then behind the scenes, a lot of times the PBC, or should I say their PR people, is harassing these black media content creators about giving them press credentials. They try to keep as less of us out as possible. Once again, nobody wants to talk about that. Nobody wants to talk about that. Nobody wants to talk about that situation with the press credentials, like how the PBC, the people, and you know who I'm talking about, you know what people I'm talking about, how they sit up there and be giving black media a hard time about press credentials. Let me tell you something. Shout out to Anthony Lieber from Matchroom Boxing. Shout out to Bill Haney. Shout out to Eddie Hearn. Yeah, her. Yeah, her. It's funny how they give all these black media content creators a hard time about press credentials. They want to give all the credentials to anybody but the brothers. But yet, Bill Haney, Anthony Lieber of Matchroom, took care of me. Do you know that I had better seats? Do you know that I had better seats for Devin Haney's fight than some of the big guns? Had no problem getting the press credential. But guess who always giving me problems when I apply press credentials? You know who? I got, and here's the thing. Evan Corn with Top Rank gave me a press credential at the last minute for Shakur Stevenson's fight. I'm talking about he gave me a press credential on the eve of the fight. And I just went out there just to watch the fight. You know what happened? Evan Corn said, do you have a credential? And I said, no. And then Evan Corn said, hey, a spot just came up. I'm going to credential you. So I got credentialed by Top Rank. That's ran by, well, primarily, white people. But I got, but the PBC that's orchestrated, ran by mostly, black people. Well, guess who not getting into these fights? Guess who got to beg and plead, send letters asking for press credentials? Or they won't give you a specific reason why they won't credential you. So like I said, I got Matchroom that credential me that's ran by white people, but the person that run the PBC, that failed at the PBC, is black and mostly ran by black people, but then black people are not getting press credentials. Black media people primarily are not getting media credentials. But then people think that I'm supposed to not say this. So I'm supposed to keep my mouth shut. So I'm supposed to follow a code or supposed to be on code when people ain't on code with me. So I'm just saying how it's done. I'm just exposing what's being done. I can't even get up in there. Every time I apply for a press credential, but then at the end of the day, somebody played a role and basically screwing it up for everybody else. Like I said before, got a credential from Matchroom with no problem. Anthony Lieber personally contacted me and said, hey, you're in there. Don't worry about it. We'll take care of you. Bill made sure that I got in there. And Anthony Lieber with Matchroom made sure I got up in there. Spoke to Anthony Lieber, told me that I was welcome. He said he looked forward to me covering more fights. Well, I probably ain't gonna cover a Matchroom fight for a while because most of Matchroom fights are overseas, and I don't plan on going overseas anytime soon. They have something out here in the States. If I could get to it, I'll be there. But this is what I'm saying. But see, none of these Hotep militant dudes don't be talking about that, and they mad. But let me get back. But this is what I'm saying. They don't talk about that. They don't want to play. They want to play that militant stuff when it comes to Bud versus Errol Spence. And like I said, most of these dudes out here that be talking all that pro-black stuff don't even have a black wife. Or you can't pay them to mess with a black woman. Y'all need to look. Y'all need to pay careful attention to that. Now let me say something. If you married to a woman that's not black, that's okay. I'm not saying, you know what I'm saying? I have my beliefs about that, but I'm not saying it's a problem. Not saying it's an issue, but I'm just talking about these dudes that be talking all this Malcolm X, super black fist in the air, Huey P. Newton, you know what I'm saying? That kind of stuff. Talking all that Dr. Umar Johnson stuff. And then be trying to question other people's blackness. That's all I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen. You could, Oh, my Cash App. I'll seek it. I'll put it in the description at when I end the stream and stuff. But yeah, man. Like I said, man, I had to put some of these clowns on blast, man. Well, all I can say is I ain't saying no names, but you got to watch out for certain people because, um, like I said, as far as certain people go, there's a few people I ain't done with because I'm gonna blow their ass out the water. Like I said, I can't wait to put them on blast because I'm gonna expose a lot of these so-called pro-black hotep Negroes. Like I said before, people try to talk this pro-black crusade, but then they tried to screw over other black people. They talked this Malcolm X stuff, but then they tried to sabotage another black man. But, it's all good. I'm still putting in that good work. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to continue to be me. I'm going to continue to do what I do best. Like I said, you're going to get, on my channel, you're going to get the absolute truth. I'm going to always speak my mind. Like I said, no fighter is beyond criticism. And I don't care if I'm cool. I don't care if I'm cool with they pops, all that stuff. Like I said before. And I want to get to this real quick. I had a great conversation with Kenny Porter. But I just want to further expose, like I said, these apologists and how scary that they really are and how fearful some of these Errol Spence fans is about a potential Crawford Spence fight. See, about 3 years ago, a lot of these people, they were just positive that Errol Spence was just going to blow through Terrence Crawford. But when Terrence Crawford made his way and started climbing the ropes, climbing the ranks at 147, when Terrence Crawford started stopping everybody in their path, everybody that got in his way, he stopped them. That's when all the crazy stuff started happening. That's when all the obstacles started to get thrown in the way. That's where you started to hear other side of the street and all this kind of stuff. And then what really turned me off to these Errol Spence, apologists, the patrol, the Spence patrol, not the Snow patrol, the Spence patrol. When they pulled that stuff where they tried to say that Sean Porter and Kenny Porter took a dive, I was like, okay, that's all she wrote. And then of course, one of the main antagonists was trying to push that narrative. I'll talk to Kenny. He told me what was up. And I could tell when somebody, for the most part, is not being truthful with me. At the end of the day, he saw that Sean was in bad shape. Terrence Crawford had over a minute to go. Terrence Crawford is one of the best finishers. Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Mark. Terrence Crawford, everybody knows, is one of the best finishers. One of the best finishers in boxing. So he had over a minute left to do some serious... Y'all, and I'm going to be completely honest. Kenny didn't want to see Sean get hurt. He knew that Bud was about to, go for the kill. Sean had already been dropped twice, and Terrence Crawford got a minute left, over a minute left. The third knockdown was coming. So basically, and then people try to play this role that, oh, well, I felt that he pulled the trigger too soon and all this kind of stuff. So the thing is, what if he wouldn't have? Now, what if Terrence Crawford would have landed something that would have seriously hurt Sean? So I guess you wouldn't have been satisfied till you seeing Sean carried out on the stretcher. Right? Right? Because Bud was about to knock Sean down again. But what it was, let me tell you what it really was. The Spence apologists, their worst nightmare had came true. that Terrence Crawford did something that nobody was able to do that fought Shawn Porter. Stop him. He stopped him. Now keep in mind, the Spence Patrol was daring Bud to fight Shawn Porter, but then as soon as the fight was over and Terrence Crawford, the wrong guy, won, then all of a sudden, then they started hollering about, well, Shawn Porter had already lost to this dude already, but this was the same dude that y'all told Terrence Crawford to go fight. Because, like I said before, a lot of these dudes, that was more fear. And then they started to see, man, this Errol Spence fight ain't gonna be the blowout that we thought it would be. This is gonna be a real close fight. So then, once again, they tried to devalue Terrence Crawford. Like I said, I'll talk to Kitty Porter for like 25 minutes. Kitty Porter didn't even know that Shawn was going to announce his retirement. He said, I didn't even know. He didn't even know. He said, I had no idea Shawn was going to announce his retirement. And there you had people attacking Kenny Porter's integrity because they was mad. It wasn't even about Kenny. They was just mad and upset because the mission got complete by Terrence Crawford. And he stopped Shawn. And that just made people go, whoa. So they needed somebody to blame. So they blamed Kenny Porter. So they attacked Kenny Porter. So they came after Kenny Porter. Because they needed somebody. They needed somebody to blame. That was the problem. They needed somebody to blame. It wasn't about giving Terrence Crawford his props. It was about finding an excuse. They needed somebody to blame, so they tried to blame it on Kenny Porter. And once again, that showed a lot of his fans, that just showed the mental makeup of a lot of Errol Spence's fans. Showed that to a certain degree that some of them and a lot of them were mentally weak. They needed somebody to blame. So we'll blame this on Kenny Porter. We'll make this Kenny Porter's fault. We'll say the fight was fixed. Anything to discredit Terrence Crawford. Anything to discredit Terrence. And then, like I said, and these will be the same dudes that'll say, Bud won't do no interviews. Bud won't take a picture. He won't talk to me. I can assure you guys, Terrence Crawford and them watch all that stuff. If it ain't Terrence Crawford, it's Bernie. Same thing with Kenny Porter. Kenny Porter watches this stuff. He has people that watches this stuff. I done had conversations where Kenny Porter said names. Yeah, I saw that video with dude talking all that stuff. Or I saw that you know what I'm saying? Same thing with Terrence Crawford's team. They watch this stuff. I'm pretty sure Errol Spence's team watching this stuff. Chris Algieri, look, man, man, let me tell you something. Bud, do you know Bud would literally take, if Bud and Chris Algieri fight, Bud would probably literally take Chris Algieri's life. I bet you right now, if Bud signed to fight Mikey Garcia, let me tell you what would happen. Because I told Buzz TV, y'all should sign to fight Mikey Garcia. And then what's going to happen is Bud going to destroy Mikey Garcia. He going to beat the hell out of him. Robert Garcia is either going to throw in the towel or he going to get knocked out. And then they going to say that Mikey Garcia was an Errol Spence leftover. I'm used to this stuff. I really am. I'm used to this stuff. When you see people doing this stuff, you get used to it. I'm used to it now. It's hilarious now. It's just funny now. So I promise you that's what they're gonna do. If Bud did that, they're gonna get on social media. Oh, I wasn't impressed. I wasn't impressed. I wasn't impressed. Well, you know what? Bud loosened up a little bit because people talked to Bud. His team talked to him behind the scenes, and Bud loosened up. And like I said before, I'm not finna continue to hold that over Bud's head. You know what I'm saying? Because I done got past it. I moved on from it. And I definitely wasn't finna let no midget try to convince me to go in on another black man and try to assassinate a black man's character. Because you basically in good with somebody else. And like I said before, I don't have nothing against Errol Spence. I don't have nothing against Errol Spence. I'm not going to ever personally attack Errol Spence. I'm not ever going to do that. Errol Spence is more than welcome. If he want to come on here, he can come on here. I would be more than happy. I'll be willing to talk to Errol Spence on and off camera. I don't have to do no interview with him. I'll be more than happy to talk to him over the phone. A private conversation. Because one thing about me, I only tell what people tell me to tell. When I have these conversations with Team Crawford, if they say, hey, don't put this out, I respect that. If I have a conversation with Kenny Porter say, hey, don't put this out. Because let me tell you something, quiet as kept. I knew Bud versus Terrence Crawford was going to happen like weeks before it was made official. And it's just something else that I know too. Like I said, I keep in contact with these dudes. I didn't establish a relationship with these dudes, a business relationship, you know what I'm saying, and a personal relationship outside of boxing, because that's how I roll. Because at the end of the day, I do care about these black men and these black women that's fight. Just like I care about Carissa Shields. But at the same time, I had to speak my mind when she was talking that goofy stuff about she want to fight a man and she want to fight Keith Thurman. I was just like, that's not a good look. And that's all I was saying. And I heard Carissa Shields was a little pissed off at me, but I just had to say that stuff. Because I was like, don't do that. Don't alienate your biggest supporters. Carissa Shields ain't got no female fans backing her up. Carissa Shields' fan base is mostly of men, and black men in particular. So like I said, Errol Spence want to come on here, I'll be more than happy to talk to Errol Spence. Errol Spence can get my number. He probably already got it. I'll be more than happy to talk to that dude. I just don't like some of the stuff that's being done. I just don't like the stuff from his fans. Like I said, once they did that stuff where they flagged my videos, that was like the last straw. I was like, okay, I'm airing these dudes out. Because they keep doing it. They're like I said, I believe whoever doing it is somebody I know. But anyway, appreciate the love. Thank you for the donation. Really appreciate that. I'm out.